Hello, everybody, and welcome to Book Club with Bay. I am Bay, and this is Bay. Say hi, Bay.
Hi, Bay.
And this is other Bay. Say hi, Bay.
Hello.
And today we are talking about Lost, the second book in House of Night, Season 2. And we're going to have to be efficient about this, so that's what we're going to do. The one thing, a bit of housekeeping we need to cover, Blackwood's The Blades of Redwater is out. So if you do not have it, go buy it. And you do need to read Blackwood's The Beginning first. It's the beginning of the series. A little self-explanatory.
Oh, really?
We made it easy. We're helpful.
We did
like
make
that.
it easy.
But yeah, it's the second book in the series. So that's a thing. We are also beta reading for the next Blackwood's book is going to start in the next month or so. Mm-hmm. So if you're interested in beta reading, that's a thing too. There's a link in the description. It's the first one. So yeah, with that out of the way,
let's get started, shall we?
I haven't put Coke in this yet. This is rum. And I don't...
Let's just show the audience what we're working with tonight.
Unfortunately, due to later commitments today, I cannot drink the stream, but we're streaming again. But if you're from the US, it'll be on Thursday night. If you're from the Southern Hemisphere, in my general direction, it will be Friday midday. So I will be drinking them because everything I've heard about book 3 so far, nope.
Which book 3 did just release last week. And oh, guys, it's going to be really bad. But this one was horrible.
Yes.
I'm not even going to ask because it was so bad.
I almost didn't finish it.
I was saying to Addie today, because we weren't texting, because we made a group chat finally.
Yeah, we finally made a complaining group chat about House of Night.
But I was texting Addie because we don't text Bay when she's asleep because it's rude.
Yeah.
But I was saying...
though, I have set up Do Not Disturb, so in future, feel free to.
Okay. Cool. But I was texting you, and I was saying, this made me miss Season 1.
Yes.
We didn't know how good we had it.
We did not know how good we had it in Season 1.
I learned some things in this book. It was the things that I texted you about not too long ago. I learned some things in this book that I would have been more comfortable never knowing in my life.
Yeehaw!
Yes.
I shouldn't have put Coke in here.
No,
I shouldn't have put Coke in here. I shouldn't have. I'm about to just drink out of the bottle. That's where I'm at.
I'm really hoping though that in that situation that she's on top because that's even worse.
Yeah. And she's a lasso.
But can you imagine if it was literally any other position and she said it?
Yeehaw.
But honestly,
next time I'm doing it.
I just really hope that we don't get another scene in Forgotten.
I don't think we will.
It was bad. Okay. We have to streamline this. We got to focus. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
First order of business. We don't stand. I don't there's no
you don't even need to ask.
I think we can just across the board we stand Kelowna's fall because they didn't fucking write it. And that's it. And we're done.
We mildly stand redeemed because it was the end. And we were like, fuck yeah.
We were like, yeah, it's over.
I was the last book, loved was atrocious, right?
Oh yeah.
However, there was a few moments in that where I was like, okay, that amused me. Aphrodite's going ding ding ding.
Yes.
That amused me. I can't think of anything that amused me in this book.
One thing amused me. That's it.
What?
Just one. When
what was it?
Zoe is like, bitch, you thought I was dead to Nefret. I was like, I stand that. I stand.
Okay, that's fair.
That was the one thing. They got one thing right. In this longest way to fuck book. They got one thing. You did one thing right. Okay? Yeah. And here's the thing. I'm an author. I empathize with the struggle bus of writing a book. I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be mean about books. When we do bad book weeks, I feel like we're fair, you know? I feel like we try our best to be nice.
Fair and balanced.
Like with Jenny, you know, we always said, I think, I don't remember. I think we always said the things that were good. Maybe?
Yeah.
We did.
Well, we
That
try
sounds
to say
like a
things
thing
that
we
are good
do.
in this.
There's just nothing good.
With this,
'Cause-
like, it's just getting worse.
Season 2, just 2 out of 2 books so far, just filled with political allegories as well.
Yeah.
Like, Heath.
Yeah, okay, also, the fact that
Heath
fucking...
is in this book, but
Political allegory is so
It's
nice.
still-
It's such a nice way to say it.
Well, the fact that Heath is still a fucking character that we have to talk about. I'm fucking angry, y'all.
I know. I guess though I'm grateful when Nick's like at the end says to Zoe, like, "Do you want to say goodbye to Heath?" And she's like, "Nope."
And Zoe's like, or Nyx is like, yeah, good. I knew it. You shouldn't.
Thank God.
Zoe.
I will, like, there are a couple of things that I will compliment in this book, and that's the thing, because, like, I want to be fair, because, like I said, I understand this. Like, writing a book is not easy. It is so hard. It is very difficult. All the 3 of us know that. The 3 of us, right?
Yes.
We know how hard it is. And I
Yes,
want to
and-
be nice. I want to be
And
nice.
but also, like, if you don't have the time and effort to make a proper story, put a pin in it. That's what I've done. I haven't had the time to put the thought and effort required into my book yet. So when I have like thoughts, I write them down. You know, I'm logging everything I'm thinking, but I'm not actually actively doing it yet because I just haven't had the fucking time to.
Yeah.
That's what the car should have done. They should have just put a pin in this and hopefully just left the pin up.
They should
Forever.
have never done this because this is literally the exact same plot all over again.
That's the thing. Is
Let's
like
kill
they're
Nefret.
like this is the other thing too about books that are bad, and this is part of the reason why like I don't really review books like on Goodreads or anything, because I feel guilty. Like I'll review a book that I like, but I don't like starring reviewing books that I don't like because it makes me feel really guilty. And like also I just books that like I don't like, I don't know, it's like usually the reasons why you don't like them tend to come down to like personal preference and stuff like that. You know, like typically writing isn't that atrocious. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
there's a lot of books that I look at and I'm just like, I can see why you're a bestseller. You're just not to my taste.
Right. And there's a lot of places like where you can look at a book and you're like, okay, you know, this person can absolutely get better. There's like things here that were done correctly, that were done well. I can see why people like it. And also like depending on where the author is in their career, like if you read their later books or something, like their later books will be better. Like that kind of, and it's just better. Not, it's, you know,
it should be better. They've been doing this for over 10 years.
It's worst case scenario. And I want to be nice.
These only series, like she's got multiple other, like she's published like at least a couple dozen books.
I forgot about Divestors. Okay, why'd you have to remind me?
But then she's got all of her other series too, and it's just like, and she teaches how to creatively write. That is her job.
Question is like,
authoring is a creative writing.
With all these books,
teacher person.
How does she have time? Like, that's a lot of books.
Yeah, but guess what though? Fuck all effort's been put into them. They took 2 days to work together.
That is true, because I'm looking at that like, how did you even do that? That's great. And then I'm like, oh yeah, you didn't do that.
Yeah.
You didn't. If you don't try, then I guess it's really easy.
Yeah.
Because okay, let's get into this. It's like, we're going to streamline plot. Let's go.
Well, we'll start with the intro because I called you yesterday with a theory, and I don't know if you passed my theory on to Addie or not.
I don't think I did.
Okay, you know how at the beginning she's like, "Oh, remember that sample chapter from the last book? Forget about that." Zoe told me no.
Yes.
I have a theory. I think that's a cop-out. I think because the sample chapter was like implying that Heath, they were going to rekindle shit and all that crap. I think the readers lost their fucking shit.
Yeah.
No one likes Heath, and she's just like, "Oh fuck, we can't do that."
Seriously, who the fuck likes
Zoe changed her mind.
Yeah,
No,
I think it is a cop-out because, like, the relationship with her and Heath was never fleshed out to a point where Zoe never seemed to reciprocate his feelings. Heath was just, like, 1,000 cling all the time. And Zoe was just like, but I love everyone other than you. And then he died, and she's like, but he was my one true love. He was my one true love.
He was my one true love. And it's like,
where's the vague? No,
he was my one true love. Like, look, I love dirt more than Zoe loved Heath, okay?
Yeah, right?
I mean, like
the hard stuff.
You could tell in some of the scenes, because again, her feelings towards Heath depended on the minute as well while he was alive. But it was like the most she had was affection for him because he was her childhood sweetheart.
Yes.
Right. Which
that's it.
We all have, like, everybody has typically, you know, fond, affection for like
crush.
For like the first person, or even like past people that you felt strong feelings for, like especially girls. Like, you don't lose affection for those people.
Oh yeah.
You know, out of nostalgia. But her,
it's like why after, I'm still in love with Stark.
Yeah, because like you just don't lose your like affection for like those people.
I will say though, Stark made my ovaries run away and hide in this book when he said goodbye to Zoe.
Oh my god! I have things.
I was kind of a little. I'm not gonna lie, like, you know, I like a guy that's like, you know, I'm putting my foot down, and when he put his foot down, you know, it was like,
I was like,
sexy.
Yeah, when he was like, "Fuck you," I hope I don't feel anything from you when you're over there. I was like, "That's my man. That's my man right there."
And then I stand that, and then I unstand so fast.
Yes, and then my ovaries yeeted all the way to fucking Antarctica. Okay, that's where they went. They went there to freeze and die. Okay.
That's not in Stark's character. Like, it's just not. So,
like, let's get into this.
Let's get into this.
Chapter 1. Here was my first issue with this, and this is so nitpicky, but I'm going to explain my perspective because I think my perspective is important. Chapter 1, Other Kevin. Here's my problem. When we're in like anybody's perspective, the implication is that it's like being told from that character's perspective, even though we're in third person, okay?
Yeah.
And it's like other this, other that. Other Kevin isn't other Kevin to other Kevin. Other Kevin is just Kevin to other Kevin. He is Kevin. And the thing is, like, I wouldn't care because it makes sense to the reader if they hadn't done what they did with Jack, okay? Okay? Because I would be like, you know what? That's consistent and it makes sense because it's very clear to the reader. And like, while it's narratively a little inconsistent to like, you know, but like also it makes sense to just tag them as other Kevin. That makes sense. Okay, that's fine. But it's not consistent within your own book because you just were like, oh, but Jack can just take the place of other Jack, and that's totally fine.
Yeah,
no,
they don't refer to them as other Jack.
You have to decide if the people are the same fucking people, and you've decided that they are. So,
I think as well, because we said this for the next book, there's only 2 chapters from Zoe's perspective in the next book. Yes. I think if they'd gone about this a bit differently, like if, for example, it was like going back to Vampire Academy and Bloodlines, because that's the easiest thing to do. If it was like, you know, spin-off series where like, it's from Sydney's perspective and everything, and if Kevin was supposed to be the main character of this one and Zoe was more of a primary side character or something, that would have made this so much like
it should have never started from Zoe's perspective in the first place. Yeah, the last book started when Kevin rolled up.
Yeah, and then it would have been and then Zoe and Co could have explained the lead up to him getting sucked over.
Yeah. And it probably would have been more interesting than following Zoe's random out of nowhere Heath obsession again, and her deciding yet again that, she's not 100% Stark, and she has to realize for the 50,000th time that she is 100% Stark.
Oh my god! We have to.
One question this book has raised as well is if making out with the other version of your significant other, is that cheating? Is that cheating?
When she kissed Stark, I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Because, like, they're the same person, but they're not the same person.
That's not even Stark.
So it's like we had this conversation last time, like, Jack and Damien are not each other's Jack and Damien. And with Zoe, yeah, like, she didn't, like, full on, like, try and bone other Stark and shit like that, but also she kissed him, and I'm like, I get it, but also would her Stark be upset that she kissed the other Stark?
Look, I'm sorry, I'd be mad because that to me is like you're kissing my twin.
Yeah. Well, like, and I liked
that
me. Part, but like when she was like, "Well, go find Zoe in the other world after you die, like live a long, happy life, and then go find her, go find the other her." And then she was like, "Mwah," and I was like, "No. Just say the cute thing and run away. Like,
yeah,
why kiss him?"
And why is Erin now a lesbian?
Bruh.
That was my note too. I have that there. I was like, what the fuck?
Sorry, we're just jumping ahead and just talking about all different.
Well, there's a lot of dumb shit. It's
not
so
a lot of story to go with it.
No, there's not. There's really not a lot of story. Like a lot of it's just standing around. And
a lot.
Doing
Yeah,
nothing.
a lot of this book is just
and
read season 1 on how he took down Nefret, and here it is.
Yeah, and then it's bad. And like the other thing too about like, and this is an issue that was created in season 1. In season 1, we never should have left Zoe's perspective at all. It should have stayed in first person the entire time. We never should have left her perspective, and like ever, because it's creating problems and it makes the books bad. Like, I'm sorry.
And in this one, it should all be from Kevin's perspective.
Yeah, should be from other Kevin's perspective.
Because the thing is, when it was from Zoe's perspective and Zoe's perspective only, they had to actually write a book. Like, Marked, Betrayed, and Chosen, while not great books,
were better books.
Were
potential.
Like, they weren't good. They were bad, but they're the best because they had to.
And I think that, and the fourth one was all from Zoe as well.
Yeah, but like
it was when her fam came in that we started to go to Stevie Ray's perspective.
Right, but like you have to, but like when you're confined to Zoe's perspective.
It's much more interesting because we don't know everything.
Right, because
10 chapters before.
Because what it forces them to do is reveal stuff in a way that is like interesting, because they are incapable of doing that when they're not in Zoe's perspective. Now that's not to say that you can't reveal stuff from other perspectives. Like Addie and I, like Blackwoods is third person unlimited.
Yeah,
so
just don't fucking repeat it 15,000 times. I have so many notes from this book that's like recap of season 1, recap of chapter X, like.
And again, like with the whole like when Neferet killed Zoe's mom to make Aurochs, and then Zoe discovering that Aurochs had Heath's soul and all that stuff. We didn't have to see half of that.
No, it should have all just been from Zoe.
And like we shouldn't have found out that Aurochs had Heath's soul until not Zoe, but everyone else figured it out.
Yeah.
We would know, like Zoe would have known, but she would have been questioning what she saw and like not actually thinking the words. And then when everyone else found out, that's when we should have found out.
Right, because that's how you write books.
Yeah, but
fuck me.
Also, I think the biggest difference as well is the first 3 books as well had their own standalone plots that had hints, like puzzle pieces that fit into the series plot, whereas every other book was just series plot.
Yeah, there was no mini plots in them. Post like Raphaem's existence, there was really nothing that was just other than it was Burned, which was Zoe getting out of the other world, the OG other world, not this new other world.
Yeah,
but still,
yeah, the rest of them were, like it was all just like
Nefret.
If you would combine them all into one book, then you would have felt like you read the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can tell you, writing, Blackwoods, the series that has an overarching plot, each individual book
still has subplots.
Has a plot. Like each individual book has a plot that feeds into the overarching plot, because otherwise it's boring as fuck.
Yeah, and then in Harry Potter as well, the series plot is Harry versus Voldemort. And it's and most of the books still have that as the book plot as well, but as individual battles that is leading up to the overall thing. Like each book is its own distinct story.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it, even like the Covenant series, every book had a plot.
Yep, every book had its own purpose that fed into the larger purpose.
Yeah, and every book we did something. You know, like we never got on here and we're like, well, in this book we did nothing, and every book introduced a new thing. Like the Covenant books, bad as they were, like they did shit. You know, and I can imagine reading the Covenant books as a 16-year-old and liking them. I can imagine doing that.
I liked them the first time I read them, except for the fact that I was reading them going, this is Vampire Academy with Greek gods.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it was, I enjoyed it. And I think what the biggest issue with the Covenant series is the fact that she needs to fix her writing style.
And Alex is a...
Yeah, but I think if she fine-tuned her writing style, like the issues with Alex would mostly fix themselves.
Yeah.
Because Alex just came across as immature, but that's because the entire book was immature.
Yeah.
So, whereas this needs like a serious, Covenant needs a polish. This needs a full gutting and redoing.
Yeah, like Covenant, you could, there's a lot there that you wouldn't take a big fix. This, you can't. Like, there's nothing here. Like, I can't work with this.
No, there's nothing.
I don't even have a foundation. It's like you didn't even develop the land before you tried to build on it. What the fuck?
Yeah,
you can't build a house on sand, PC cast. You just can't.
Like, you can't, you can't do this.
I also noticed at the end of this book, she didn't include an excerpt for Forgotten, which further proves your theory.
Yeah. I think that there was backlash and she was like, oh fuck, well we can't do that. I guess I'll say Zoe changed her mind.
Because it's Zoe's fault. Yeah, blame it. Here's the thing, like, take some personal responsibility.
Yeah, just be like, I thought the story was going to go this place, but seeing y'all's reaction to it, like, obviously y'all didn't like that, so the story is going to take a different direction than her going back to Heath. Because originally, and I think we talked about this last stream, is she was going back to be with Heath. Which, fucking murder me. I'm so happy that didn't happen, but at the same time, fucking murder me.
All right, but chapter 1...
Yes,
because we're almost 30 minutes in.
Sorry,
we're just with Kevin. He's visiting other grandma.
Yeah,
and her entire personality is still lavender. In all caps, his entire personality is still fucking lavender cookies. Fuck me.
Yeah.
And then I said, "You're embarrassing, PC, not because you made a mistake and changed your mind. We all do that." I said, "Addie and I rewrote an entire book, but we don't blame it on our characters."
Yeah. We blame it on ourselves.
That wasn't their fault. That was our fault.
Yeah.
That's really chapter 1, is he just fills in grandma on everything, and grandma's just like, yes, okay. Yeah, makes sense, right?
And I long for the days of the books that didn't have the lavender cookies in them.
We had it so good with season 1.
I think we had
it so good.
Books. I think we had like 10 books without any fucking lavender cookies.
Oh, and also he likes fishing now.
No, he did like fishing. He was fishing in the other world. He was fishing when Zoe's soul shattered and she found him and he was doing a little
one time they mention it and it becomes his identity?
Yes, apparently.
Lavender cookies.
His identity was fucking football and beer.
Yes! That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think probably a better mural for Heath would have been like him running with the football.
Yes. If he was mainlining Bud Light, I would have accepted it.
Yeah, but that's not really the most appropriate memorial for him.
I don't give a fuck. It would have been on point.
That was his identity.
Yeah. Also, when I become a grandmother, I'm probably not going to be grandma. I'll follow in my mother's and my grandmother's footsteps and so on, and probably be nan because it sounds less elderly than grandma. But if for whatever reason I do become grandma, if my grandkid starts calling me Gma, I'm gonna bitch slap them all the way to you guys.
Hopefully, we'll all be living in the same place by then, or we will be hopscotching. I will be
rich enough to be able to eat over there.
Yeah, well, because we don't need it. We only need we don't need a special visa to go to either country for 3 months at a time. So we'll just spend each quarter. We'll just jump.
That's my plan.
We will live in perpetual autumn and winter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to complain about that.
Yeah, that's my plan. My plan is to hopscotch.
Anyways, so chapter 2 is they're recapping the whole series in this chapter, and they're talking about all the other people from our world and grandmas in the resistance. And I wrote down Aphrodite definitely.
Sorry.
Yeah, right. I wrote down Aphrodite definitely did not say that she'd be in love with you in this world. Because that's a fucking plot, this book, guys.
It makes me
Kevin
want
and Aphrodite.
Die. It makes me want to poke my eyes out and die.
I was so fucking mad.
In no world, because Aphrodite's okay, so
she goes for older guys.
Yeah, and also when Zoe started as a third former, she was 16, about to turn 17. So 16, 17 seems to be around the age people get marked. Yeah. Aphrodite was
she's 21 by now.
She was a sixth former. So she was 21 in.
She was 20 because she had a fake ID.
Okay, so she was 20.
So now she's
21. 20. Yeah, so she's 21. There is no way Aphrodite is going for a guy even if she was 40 and the guy was 35, Aphrodite would not go for a younger guy.
It's not her style.
Let alone a 21-year-old with a 16-year-old.
I'm 22. I cannot imagine going for someone who's
in fucking high school. 1, it's illegal, and 2, it's disgusting.
And also, what would have been so bad about having a new character for Kevin to be romantically interested? What would have been so bad about that?
Find him his Stark. That would be so much better. But I'm assuming they are going to have him find his Stark since, Aphrodite.
Stop.
Aphrodite gets it. Other one, not our great one, but
yeah. I mean, this one wasn't too bad. Other Aphrodite is still Aphrodite, and I like that, except for the fact that she boned to Kevin.
Yes, she did fuck Kevin.
And she fell in love with him in the span of a minute.
Yes, so she should be arrested for statutory rape. But she's dead. So,
what is the Oklahoma
age of consent?
It doesn't
It doesn't matter.
I know, but I'm cute. It's 60, so it's legal.
It's technically not if someone's still over 18. Technically, you still can get arrested for statutory, even if you're consenting. You'd still get arrested,
even if he's an emancipated.
It doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters.
We're moving on.
Yeah.
So chapter 2, we're still with other Kevin warriors. Oh, I also said warriors don't mate to priestesses. They're just their warriors. It's a special bond. What the fuck? So that's
But they also got the mate thing right, though. They never said the word consort in this book. They said that everyone is mates. And I was like, your lore is not right, motherfuckers.
Also, you know what just clicked to me as well? The Kelowna thing, the Kelowna plot in this book just disappeared and nothing happened.
I was texting her about that. I was like,
I forgot about it.
Rafam came for no reason.
Went there.
The only reason Rafam came is so that he could fuck Stevie Ray during the day. Change my mind.
Honestly, no, actually, this is the cast we're talking about. But I honestly think that he went there for that reason, and then they just forgot.
I was texting her and I was like,
forgot.
they typically take like at least one book to drop plot lines like that. And they also dropped the whole Nefrit's book thing, Nefrit's Curse. They dropped that. They're like, oh,
well,
we're
you know
copies of it.
what the fuck were they going to do with that? It's not like there was any actual information in it anyway.
Yeah, anything in that book was just, hey, so Neferet got diddled by her dad, and she's really sensitive about it. So if you want to hurt her feelings, just be like,
so who fucking cares?
Fuck. So who cares? Because
like, that's all that needs to be said, though.
They used that against her in season 1 without the journal. Oh my god! So it doesn't fucking matter that we found the book. So we just went through all that for.
This book is also retarded as well because they're like, oh, we need to make a cave bigger, and I'm Cherokee, and I
we're
have
right there,
affinities
actually.
for all of the elements. So let's use old magic instead.
Stevie Ray made the extra tunnels.
Yes,
just
and
with her affinity.
And I get that he might not understand it yet because he doesn't get it. He doesn't get his affinities yet. But Anastasia should know better. She should have said, bitch, no
speaking
magic.
of, Dragon and Anastasia are fucking back apparently, and Dragon's still an asshole. And when everyone comes back, when Zoe and Stevie Ray and her fam show up, they're like, oh my god, Dragon! And I was like, Dragon was a dick to you. He was never nice. He's such an asshole. Are you fucking kidding me?
But also, I also just don't like as well that they're just like, wow, Dragon's been such a jerk about like when he sees Kevin and Grandma's like, how absolutely dare you hold a sword to his throat, and he's just like, red vampires are all evil, of course I'm and she's like, how absolutely dare you? He's putting 1 and 1 together and finding 2, okay? You need to prove to him that 1 and 1 equals 3, for fuck's sake. I'm done.
Guys, this book is so bad.
I just hate how whenever anyone comes to a logical conclusion, even though it's incorrect, but it's logically, like, you can see how they got there and you can understand how they got there, they still get mad at them for getting there.
Because they never take the time to go, okay, look, I know this is fucking crazy, but here's what happened. Like, nobody ever pulls anybody aside and they're like, hey, here, like, this is fucking insane.
Yeah,
but
Grandma should have gone into the cave first and explained shit to him before she let Kevin in.
She should have gone into the cave. Like, here's what should have logically happened, okay? Here's how Addie and I would have done it. It would have been like, we followed Grandma's... Actually, we wouldn't have had Grandma because I would have fucking killed her by now.
No, we would have murdered Grandma.
We would have murdered Grandma. But it would have been a character would have gone in there and would have been like, hey, Dragon, what's up? So this
because they should know that Dragon is super protective.
It would have been like, hey, Dragon, I know this sounds fucking insane because it is. It's because this has never happened before. This could be really hard for you to hear. And I get that. And it's hard for me to hear too. And I am here for you. I am here for you, buddy. But thing is, I got a red vampire here and he's not crazy. And the dragon goes, oh my God, what? And then you go, I know, right? And then Dragon's like, what? And he's like, yeah. And so then you take a minute to calm Dragon down. And you're like, so but I swear to Jesus H. Roosevelt Christ, he's not.
Thank you for that.
He's not a nutter butter. And then, you treat Dragon like, yeah. But no, Dragon's an evil dick. But then also Eric in this world is a crazy motherfucker too, because in the other world he didn't want Zoe to fuck 5 other people.
Yep. Let's just Mara, this one's for you.
Thank you. I can't drink and I'm jealous. They did the right thing with Kevin in relation to like the first chick that they meet, because like she's got dogs and they use the Resistance uses code phrases, and something about buying puppies is like, hey, code, I'm Resistance, take me to your people thing. And the bitch was like, but you got a red with you, this is nope. And they're like, but dogs hate reds, yeah? Yeah, well, dogs like him, so get your dogs out and that'll prove he's got his humanity. So they proved it, whereas Grandma's excuse was, how dare you call my grandson a liar?
Like
the dragon. She also...
And then the dragon is like, well, you would have a bias because that's your grandson.
Yeah,
she kept on love him. She only loves Zoe.
And she always, like, and in that scene as well, she just kept on saying, but that's my grandson, that's my grandson. And no wonder Dragon wasn't buying it. You should have kept the grandson thing until he was like chill.
Yeah.
The other thing too was in this scene, we go through this, like, I think you just brought it up, this whole rigmarole where we go through this entire conversation with Kevin and Gma, where it's like, I know you always like Zoe better. And Grandma's just like, oh, yes, I do like Zoe Bird better. She is much better than you. I like her better.
But also, like, notice, no mention of the other child.
I know, right?
The
other daughter doesn't exist. But, like, it's like,
well, also, they forgot.
Because Gma is like, yes, because Zoe always liked to cook and sew with me. And you were always playing video games, but now that you aren't in video games anymore, I also like you. And it's like the cast don't know how grandmothers work. That's not how they work. That's not how they work at all. That's not how family works. That's not how any of this works.
Get in the fetal position over here. Don't mind me, guys.
I know. Okay, here's my theory about PC cast. This is my theory. I have a theory, a life theory, and this is it. I think that the casts are aliens, and I don't think they've ever interacted with people. And so I think that what they're doing is writing a fantasy series based on how they think people work. And I think that Kristen, because I know I've seen videos of them with each other, so I think they've spoken to each other. So I think that Kristen is her daughter via mitosis. And
I say artificial insemination.
And I think that's what happened.
I say both theories are valid.
Yeah.
And I think that they have never spoken to other people. I think that they have only observed possibly by movies and going to Walmart, and that is it. Because there's no way that they've spoken to other human beings. Just like, oh yes, I always love Zoe more than you because
you don't understand. The characters told them to do this. This is how the characters feel. It's all character driven. There's nothing. They have no say in what they do.
Yeah, the thing, and we were also talking about the same people though who forgot that the use of the word Barbie was just to describe what their sister was like and not her name, and then they named her Barbie last book.
Listen, we never said they were perfect.
like no one goes, this is my sister Barbie. She behaves like a Barbie. Like in the first book, that's what it was. She was like my Barbie sister, and now it's like, no, that like apparently that B was supposed to be a capital.
Yeah,
not a description. Okay, fair enough.
Anyways, chapter 4. There was one more thing I identified with in this book, and it's when Jack and Damien are talking to Zoe, and Zoe just says, I resisted the urge to strangle both of their ridiculously happy necks. And I was like, all right,
I was like,
fair.
Do it, Zoe. Do it for all of us.
Yeah, right?
Please.
And I just heard, Jesus, fuck, kill me. All right, here we fucking go with Heath. All right, fucking kill me. I mean, seriously, if I ever mysteriously die, the cast should be arrested.
I said, fuck Jack, we killed him. That was like my first note from chapter 4. And then I also had how could anyone not love him? He's awful. He's the literal worst.
Yeah.
That's how.
Addie, did you read or listen to the book?
I did both.
Okay, just because we had to take, I think, my text to Bay, because I think this was before the group chat started, but it was just now for a short break in our regularly scheduled programming to promote the Tulsa LGBTQ. There we go. Equality Center in Tulsa, because we had to apparently.
Yeah, we had to.
But the lead up to that, I was actually taking a drink and I literally spat it out when Jack was like, the gays! And I was like, no. Because they're like, we want to help renovate the restaurant at the depot. And she's like, how? And that's Jack's response. And it's like, what?
Yeah, I know. And it's
Guys,
And then
this is
also,
painful.
like, at one point, okay, so
Actually
then
painful.
after that, Zoe goes to, like, the horse. She goes to Persephone. She's like, I love Persephone. And I'm like, yeah, we know.
Yeah,
and then
she
she's
fucking
like,
falls asleep.
and then I said, and then she's like, I miss being a fledgling without a care in the world. And I was like, you were never a fledgling without a care in the world. Not being a fledgling was, like, the most relaxed you've ever been.
Yeah, before any of this happened. The
The
day
entire
that this book
time you were a
started.
fledgling, you were, like, trying
Never.
not to die.
Yeah.
So,
And like we did have a couple. We had like two 1 month time jumps, right? But
Yes.
within those time jumps, based on what you were saying as well, because she was like, people are always giving me fucking weird looks because of this shit, which
Yeah.
is stressful enough as well. Also, like she's also a bit self-centered, so they're probably also just like, oh look, there's Zoe. And she's like, why are they looking at me because of my mark? You know, and so she stresses herself out just as much as everyone else does as well. But even in those time jumps, she might have had some downtime, but she was still an uptight bitch throughout it all as well.
Yes.
I've no doubt.
Yes.
I also
And then-
miss time jumps. It gives
so the
them time
happiest
to
you've
go
ever
up.
been is as a full-grown vampire doing what you do. So, like, no, okay?
Yeah, the
After Nefert's been killed and you had this almost full year, you had this 10 months.
You had 10
just be fucking happy. And you were an ungrateful whore, okay? Zoe
And then also,
Redford.
in the last book, it was spaghetti madness, okay? In the last book, they forgot to call it Paschetti.
Yeah, and then Stark says it at the end of this chapter.
In the last book,
first,
they forgot to call it spaghetti. They forgot to call it Paschetti, okay? I know they did. I made a note of it, and I was like, they forgot. They're idiots. And then in this book, everybody's like, oh, Paschetti madness. I'm like, he's not Paschetti anymore. You forgot.
Yeah.
Fuck off. And now it's Paschetti again, and I'm upset.
I also just want to point out as well, okay, the timelines in each of the worlds runs concurrently with each other. Like it's a 1-to-1 ratio of time. And this book picks up immediately after the last book.
Mm-hmm.
It starts off with Kevin coming back.
I think it's 2 or 3 days that this book spans.
Yeah, so at the moment where we're about maybe with the traveling, everything included as well, we're probably about 6 hours past when the last book ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's going to be important for when we go back to Zoe.
Yeah, well,
actually go to Stark,
first what happens is she passes out in Persephone's stall and then is like has a dream about her dying that we already fucking knew about from the other world. And it's like her in the other world talking to Nephrit, and Nephrit murders her.
Yeah,
and,
like we know that you died
that.
horribly. Like,
Why do we need
and
to
because
see
we also have a graphic description of how it happened because we found Lauren Blake's body. We know, okay? We know how you died.
Yep. I guess so. Other Zoe could send a message to Zoe saying, "Go help Kevin here."
But we don't need
the only reason she goes to help other Kevin is Heath. It's genuinely Heath. She just creates all these other excuses. She's like, oh my god, no, we're gonna get Kelowna back, and then we're gonna do this, and like he needs to know not to use other like to use old magic. He needs to know that.
Oh,
and I'm just
and
like,
and
you just want to go fuck your
ex-boyfriend. All of this if other Kevin didn't exist.
Yeah.
And Zoe was the only thing that could like go save the other world. That's what would solve all of this.
I think because this book establishes some rules as well regarding the two worlds, although those could change next book. But old magic can flow easily between the worlds,
which makes no goddamn sense.
But okay, and it's implied that Nyx is like each world's Nyx is the same Nyx. So I'm wondering though,
you're right.
How the fuck are they expecting to free Kelowna if he's already free? Because
Mara,
Mara,
I hate to break it to you, but I did send you the perspectives for next book, and a lot of it's other Kelowna.
So Nyx isn't the same Nyx.
Me.
It's other Nyx.
But it's the same Nyx because you're right, because she talks to Zoe about Heath.
So is there another Erebus? How does this
There is another
work?
Erebus. We go in his perspective.
Great. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy right now. I could die.
I'm guessing that the next book will answer the next question, because also part of her conversation with Zoe could be attributed to the fact that she's a goddess and knows shit.
Are we gonna have another Kelowna's fall? Did it happen the same way? Did everything happen the same way? How did the world split? How does this work? How does anything work? Did they even think about it?
No.
Why is the other world and the other world called the same shit? It makes no sense. None of this makes sense.
Yeah, like how come? Yeah, because it's Nyx's other world, but like this isn't Nyx's other world. It's the other
universe.
And
y'all. In case you guys haven't noticed,
don't produce a multiverse if you already have an other world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah, they should have called Nyx's realm either just Nyx's realm or
like
the afterlife
or like purgatory or some shit.
Just anything.
Because that's what it is. It's basically purgatory.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so
moving on to chapter 5. Yes, back to Kevin.
This is where the Kevin Dragon standoff actually happens. So
Sylvia, come to me.
Sylvia,
come to me.
I did notice that.
My life. I literally wrote down for this chapter, IDK, there's ravens.
About it.
Because Anna has a pet raven.
Yeah, Anastasia is a pet raven. Redbird boy!
Dude, that's when I started listening to the audiobook, and I was like, this is fucking scary, guys.
Redbird boy!
Yeah, it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay. Like, at one point last night, so we're doing the Blackwoods the beginning audiobook. And
yes, we are. We're getting that
we
recorded
haven't
right now.
really the narrator.
It's fucking amazing.
And he's really good. And Addie and I got chapter 2 last night, so we took a break to listen to chapter. So we took a break to listen to chapter 2 of Blackwoods the beginning, and after that, I could physically not bring myself to go back to Redbird boy, and and so that was it. That was it until today. Because after chapter 2 of Blackwoods the beginning, I was like, and you want me to go back to Redbird boy? Like, I can't do it. I just can't. Like, I can't.
Spoiler alert, our audiobook narrator is very good.
He's very good.
And we love him so much. And, like, we couldn't just plague ourselves with going back to this shitty novel with a shitty, like, we can't go back to that.
I'm like, after listening to that, I just can't go back to Redbird. Like, I just can't.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Literally, chapter 4 and 5 is convincing Dragon that Kevin's not going to kill him.
And it's too long. It's
no, chapter 6 is the same thing.
Yeah. It's more because, like, my note for chapter 6 is they're just talking and saying things we already know.
Chapter 7 is other Stark, and they found the thing, place, whatever, and then it's other Kevin, and then
in all caps, I have what the fuck was that? My flavor of the month? Really? No one says that about themselves, you idiot.
Yeah, no, that's a snarky comment made by a third person.
And then, like, people. Then he conjures old magic and he's like, protect us. And then other Stark, we're back with other Stark. And now he's talking about how they're on ancient Creek land.
But they're
not Cherokee.
Oklahoma. So, like, they changed the name of the tribe, but that's still not where they are. Am I wrong?
Right. Are you gonna Google it, Mara?
Yeah, I'm finding out where the fuck they live.
I don't think that's where okay, I think Creek is still
not accurate.
I think that's still wrong.
Wait, let me just
let's do a quick Google.
Hey. Land.
So,
come on, tell me where you are.
But
Stark saw the sprites shift back into humanish form.
One thing I will say, because I'm just going to address this now, Kevin keeps being like, what would Zoe do? She leads with strength and honesty and just oh God, that's
okay.
Fucking why?
That is fucking hilarious. No, she doesn't. Don't follow her example, Kevin. You don't want to do that. That's so stupid. Okay.
The Creek Nation territory was Alabama, New Georgia.
That's what I thought. Now, the Creek Nation was involved in the Trail of Tears, et cetera, et cetera. Like, that was totally a thing. They were moved to Oklahoma.
But
it's the same rationale as the Cherokee.
Like,
it's not their indigenous land.
It's the same problem with the Cherokee and being like, this is ancient Creek land. It's not.
Land, it implies older than 150 years.
It's not. Like, ancient Creek land is not where Oklahoma is, okay?
It's in
there are other tribes that lived there. Other tribes lived where, like, the Trail of Tears ended already.
Because they're in Sipupa, something like that. Where the fuck are they?
Something like that.
Continue. I'm finding out what Native Americans lived in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oh, many of them.
A lot of them, yeah. But it wasn't...
None of them are the ones that we talk about.
Right. And it's like, you could have... It would have been so easy. And it still would have been offensive as fuck. Like, the way they would have done it would still have been offensive as hell. But, like, they could have done that, you know? And it would have been accurate.
Why bring the Georgia? Why bring ancient Georgia and Alabama tribes into that? Like,
well, because like that's what, and it's kind of because it's almost like they were like, well, let's correct it. It's like, but it's still wrong.
But when you root your universe so tightly with the universe that we live in now, with all the pop culture references they fucking make, because they talked about Game of Thrones yet again.
They even referenced the Trail of Tears, said they're aware it's a thing. It's a thing that happened in this world.
Yeah. It's all bullshit. Anyways.
It's not ancient. Like, it can't be ancient Creek land. I mean, I'd have to ask somebody in that nation. Like, I don't know, you know, because like maybe they do consider it like that. I don't know. I don't know directly. What I do know is that they
not their indigenous lands.
I do. So like, I don't know. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're right. I will grant them that.
Please let us know.
What I do know is that they are ignoring the Trail of Tears, and that they are ignoring that they were forcibly removed from their indigenous lands.
Yeah,
they're ignoring that.
I know why they've gone with Creek, because the town was named after the area's first permanent settler, a full-blooded Creek Indian named Sepulpa. Of the Casita tribe from Alabama. So a guy in 1886 who was Creek founded the town.
Okay.
That's why that. But 1886 is not the ancient lands.
Mm-mm.
It's not ancient.
Yeah, so I don't know how like a native. So I don't know like how a Creek person would feel about that. Calling that ancient Creek land, I don't know if they would feel that that is like a representation of them being forcibly removed or not. Because also like a lot of things in the United States are named after, you know, native people.
Well, yeah, like when I pulled up the Oklahoma thing, the Wichita people are from Oklahoma, but they're Wichita,
That's
Kansas.
Where I was born in Wichita.
Yeah, exactly. But it's in Kansas. So,
yeah.
You know, like, but at the same time, it's still annoying. And we end chapter 7 with Stark in his head and other Stark, and he's like, yeah, I don't trust Nefret, and I don't like the war that's happening. And that's how we end chapter 7. And then chapter 8 is other Kevin's like, I want to be a spy. And then I said, why are we reading Nefret's journal? The shit might have not even happened to her. And the cave is our home. And then the cave is now home to 100 people because of old magic. Whoa.
You know what? That's a good point, too, is like, we know that the things that are happening, sorry, this might be loud. The other things that are happening, like in the other world, might not have happened in the other world. Like the things that happened in the main world might not have happened in the other world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and that's the other thing too, is like,
they know when Nefret hid the journal in their world, both places. So why not say to Kevin, hey, why don't you go to these two places and see if
go find it.
Well, the other thing too is that like the thing that happened in the main world, they knew before the journal. The journal didn't say anything new.
Yeah, they knew everything that happened. They just
none of it fucking matters. Like none of it matters.
No.
Anyway, so chapter 9. Oh, so chapter 8, we get tree spray bullshit.
Yeah, so Kevin just starts using old magic for anyone.
Even though he doesn't fucking need to. And we introduce this mechanic because fucking reasons, and it's dumb. It's just dumb. Hey, Addie.
Yeah.
This also reminds me, like, I should say this off stream, but this just reminds me that, like, because I'm going to be in Columbia on Thursday, we should check BTO, whatever the acronym is for dumb shit.
BTOA?
Yeah. While I'm there, can we just check it for dumb shit?
I've been highlighting all the dumb shit. It's fine.
Every time I'm reading this book, I'm like, can we just check our manuscript for dumb shit just to make sure we don't do dumb shit? Like, not that I think we do any dumb shit like this, but I'm like, oh crap, do we do dumb, pointless shit that we don't need to be doing? Anyways, it makes me so paranoid. I'm like, what dumb shit am I doing? Yeah.
We mentioned Heath again in this chapter because fucking why not? And Cramisha shows up and she's like, I want to go to Chicago.
Also, Zoe starts off this chapter with, it's only been a few days since Kevin left. I'm like, no, it's the exact same day that Kevin left.
Exactly.
He left a few hours ago.
Yeah.
It is now approximately 6 a.m. on the day that Kevin left.
I'm glad they know what fucking day it is.
They obviously never have.
Because Kevin hasn't lost a day yet.
No.
It's still the same day he got back.
It's kind of like that book where like you were telling me it's been 2 weeks and we were like, no, it's been a week. And then we were like, oh wait, none of us are wrong because the cast don't know what day it is because they keep changing within their own manuscript how much time has passed. The same thing here. Like they just don't know what day it is.
Yeah. Oh, Carisha comes in and she's like, you white girls, like to Zoe, you white girls don't have a butt, and Zoe is like, I'm Native American. And she's like,
Zoe's like,
and she's like, oh, I forgot you had some brown in you. Oh, excuse me, princess.
They push a PC agenda and they just fuck it up every time.
But we've always been told that Zoe looks Native American.
Yeah.
She looks like a young version of her grandmother.
Yes.
So never in my life have I met someone, right, who is biracial, right, who looks like at least partially like their non-white parent type thing, and gone, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot you weren't white. It's like, I just need to look at you and know that you are not exclusively white.
Yeah.
And the other thing too was like, looking at Kristen Cast, okay, like you can tell that she is Native American.
Yeah, yes. that artificial insemination definitely came from a Native American man.
Yeah, like the mitosis, worked wonders. Wasn't exact, but
she just grew her right here, and then it just like,
yeah. Anyway, God damn it. So.
Yeah. And it would be like looking at Kristen Cast, because Zoe is Kristen Cast, as we've been told. And going, oh, I forgot you weren't white. It's like, bitch, you don't look white. Never in my life would I look at you and go, that's a white girl.
Yeah, right? It's like she's supposed to look Native American because she's supposed to be primarily Native American.
Right. Like,
whatever. Fucking whatever.
It's fucking dumb. And the other thing, too, is like you just said, they try to be, they're like, oh, we're super PC. It's like, no, you're not. And do you know how much it takes for me to go, like, this is offensive? It's offensive as fuck.
It is.
They are trying to be woke. They are so offensive. And how does
whenever Cramisha walks in a room,
how does this get published by a major publisher? Who let this happen?
Someone who was very stoned.
Like, honestly,
someone who wasn't paying fucking attention whatsoever to anything.
Honestly, even if you're self-publishing, don't do stuff like this. Like, this is genuinely offensive, and it's not, and not that it's, look, publish whatever you want, okay? Like, it's your funeral, But come on, guys. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Next chapter is-
my note for the end of chapter 9 is we felt old magic, so now we have to rewatch old magic from Zoe's perspective.
Yes.
So we have to rewatch what we just did from Zoe's fucking perspective, as though we didn't just watch it from Kevin's fucking perspective. And so Zoe just does the same fucking shit that Kevin just fucking did.
Yeah. And then
so the tree sprite that Kevin spoke to is now with Zoe's giving her details, and Zoe's like, can you send a message? And she's like, fuck no. By the way, I'm mad about this tree. Bye.
Well, and there's also this like part in here where I wrote down, I'm confused. So Stark knows that Zoe's dead in the other world. We all do because Stevie Ray just mentioned it. But then he goes, OMG, did you get marked in the other world? No, but she's fucking dead. We know this.
Fucking kill myself.
Everyone knows this.
Then we go to other Kevin, and literally all that happens is Anastasia's like, oh, we'll use my Raven to communicate while you go spy for us. That's
also in chapter 11, Kevin is eye raping Anastasia. That's a thing.
Yes. And then he's just like,
because he's a horny 16-year-old.
But also, like, this is another thing that Bae and I noted in like the Titan books. The way that some women, and this is a Jenny thing that we noted, write male characters is ridiculous, okay?
Yeah.
Because, look, I know that people complain about the way that men describe female characters, but I'm sorry. The way that some women also write male characters is fucking insane.
I would say the way that most... Like, it's not as bad when, you know, it's like, you know, the male character is just the person next to them, you know, like if they're just a side character type thing. It's not that bad. But when a woman writes from a male perspective, a lot of the time, probably 80% of the time, especially in YA, maybe more adult books, not sure, but YA / slightly older than YA, it's atrocious.
Oh my god, it's bad.
Sex.
Yeah.
Look at her butt.
Oh my god, look at her butt.
It is so big.
It is so big. Oh my god, she's so pretty.
And
oh my god, I want to fuck Anastasia. Here. Oh my god, can I fuck her really hard? Dragon, would you be okay with a threesome? And it's
as like, he's just so desperately into Aphrodite for some fucking goddamn reason.
No, I'm fine with him being into Aphrodite. I'm not into her being into him.
Yes,
like, yeah. And you know what would actually be an interesting arc?
But also, he's convinced that in the real world that she was super fucking into him, and even other Aphrodite's like, yeah, well, it seems like a little bit part of her loved you. I'm like, do you know how long it took for you to fall in love with Darius? You would not at all, ever in a million years, be in love with someone, don't care how old they are, this fucking fast. It took you months.
You know what would have been an interesting arc, though? For other Kevin to have been like, wow, I'm really into Aphrodite, who's a 21-year-old female who's like really strong, you know, because like Aphrodite's a strong female character.
She is.
Like that would have, so it would have been interesting for other Kevin to have been into him, and then for him to have to like realize with the fact that like she's an adult, and then for him to have to like fall in love to fall in love with like a person his age.
Another interesting arc could have been that they didn't explore because they forgot Raphaim existed in the other world just to, you know, or he came to the other world just to fuck Stevie Ray, is him and Anastasia. Because when he sees her, he pledges to her, he's like, I will protect, no attack. Like, immediately. That would have been so interesting.
Yeah.
That would have been so interesting. The woman that he killed.
Right. But like that's the thing with House of Night, and that we've talked about a million times, is that like they set up for such interesting things and then they don't follow through.
Yeah, like in the final scene, right, it would have been really cool if someone else had died, and if that someone else had been Raphaim. I think that would have been really cool if Raphaim had died.
Yeah.
And Raphaim had died like for Anna.
Yeah, like
or for Dragon.
Right.
I
like it would have, and you know what? That would have sucked. Like, for you as the reader, that would have sucked because you would have been like, because, like, if it had been done well, you would have, like, you as the reader would have been like, holy shit, that sucks.
And it would have completed his redemption arc.
But it would have been good.
Completed.
But it would have sucked. But it would have been good. You know?
Yeah.
But, like, they don't do things like that because they don't think. They don't fucking think. And that's the thing that I think sucks is about, like, House of Night is that there is so much there that could be good.
Yeah.
But they don't do it. It's like, why not? Why don't you do it?
Because they're incompetent when it comes to
like, why not? There are things here. You have things here. You have puzzle pieces to work with. Put it together. It's like you have a 2,000 piece puzzle and you're just like, nah.
Here's
they did
5.
the edges.
Yeah, they did the edges and you're like, this is enough.
This is done.
You know, it's like they put the corners in place and then they were like, meh.
I think both of y'all just missed me doing that.
I did totally miss that.
I just went, and it just flew somewhere. It's fine.
I guess you're just gonna have to spell it.
I guess it's just my thing now. Anyways. So we're back with other Kevin. He's at the House of Night. He sees Aphrodite talking to Nephra.
What chapter are we on?
Or chapter 12.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah, sorry. In the last chapter, we established that Kevin had to smear dead red vampire blood on him to make himself smell like a bad red.
It doesn't smell bad anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So this one is him sneaking into the morgue to get blood, and he overhears a conversation with Aphrodite and Nephra, where Nephra's just like, I'm going to send you to the tunnels with the red vamps because you're not doing your job. Bye.
Yeah. And she's like, I'll take away everything you love unless you start giving me visions. And then Aphrodite's like, who the fuck is there? And so she goes and talks to other Kevin. And then chapter 13 is other Kevin going to the basement. And then it's
and he finds like grenades.
Seduction is next. We had an in-depth group chat conversation about this yesterday about how fucking
God.
Zoe's idea of seducing her man is to wear his ruddiest, oldest, holiest t-shirt.
Yep.
And to eat nachos.
Okay, real quick. I'm just gonna go through what we said.
Yes.
I'm just going to summarize what we said.
Yes.
So Zoe is wearing this holy t-shirt of the goddess. It's very holy. And real quick, first of all, Mexican food and sex are a no-no. Everybody knows this.
No, yeah, it's too heavy a food.
Yeah.
You eat sushi because no matter how much sushi you eat, you don't get heavy full.
No.
Yeah, you know not to do that. First of all,
there's foods you don't eat before you're trying to seduce your mans.
Yeah, exactly. First of all. Secondly, you don't wear the thing you're gonna, like while you're eating.
Tools while you're eating.
Yeah, you don't wear it while you're eating, because like if you're doing like the food kinky stuff, that's different because like
but they're not.
That's a different thing.
She's just like, we're gonna eat and watch Game of Thrones, and then we're gonna fuck.
Yeah, like that's a different thing. Okay. That's a completely different scene, and that's not what they're doing. They're just eating. So she's like only wearing this stupid holy t-shirt. And then in the sex scene, okay,
it's not even a sex scene. It's like
this is
precursor.
This is a line in the sex scene. I'm just gonna skip to it. So like they start the sex scene because like he's eating, and then all of a sudden they're kissing. And the line is, he found the holes in my shirt. And
as he pressed me back against the cushions, his lip traveled down my neck, kissing and teasing and blah, blah, blah. And then he found the holes in his old t-shirt, kissing my breasts through them.
And this is the mental image we all had, which I think is fair. Okay? The image I had in my head immediately
Yeah.
was that like the holes were only where her nipples were,
Like Mean
and
Girls
just
style.
like immediate,
Yeah,
like
it was like holes here.
it was like right, yeah, like that's all I
Lucky
got.
Mean Girls. Lucky Mean Girls.
Yeah, like in Mean Girls. It's just that's it. It's just nipple holes, and that's it.
Yeah, like that's
the image
I was
all
like,
three of us got.
I was like, oh, is that where they were? And that was it. And I was like, what the?
Let's be honest as well. If they weren't there, how big were they? Like, was it effectively like 3 pieces of like string just attached? Like, how big were these holes?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But Kevin does end up cock blocking them by using old magic.
Yes, but this is Stark's game plan for the night. Because it's always like, we're going to eat nachos and watch Game of Thrones and have sex, all the while I'm wearing this baggy old t-shirt.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, how about I kiss every inch of you, and then we eat nachos and watch Game of Thrones, and then I kiss every inch of you again. And I'm just like,
Stark, it makes me
this is not how boys work.
Stuff like that makes me like, because I love Stark so deeply, because as a 14-year-old, Stark, like, I was in love with Stark. So I have that special place for him. Don't die, Mara.
I think I just let a bug.
Are you okay?
No,
she's not
gonna go
okay.
die off camera real quick and come back.
Okay.
But like, it's scenes like that where I'm like, Stark, you make it so hard for me to come onto this stream and defend you.
Yes.
Because I love Stark to absolute bits, and I always joke I would treat Stark better than Zoe ever could dream of. That's what I joke constantly, because as a 14-year-old, that was me. I was I will not cuckold you. I will treat you so good. And so like scenes like that where I'm like, this isn't Stark. Like, this is not you. Like, please stop. You're an asshole, and that's why I love you.
I'm just real quick going to say what I said in the group chat, because it's kind of funny. Because I know Addie's boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
We all friends.
This is so funny.
What I said in the group chat was like,
choking.
If Addie did this, what her boyfriend would do was like, if she was like wearing an old t-shirt with holes in it of his, he would like, and like just had a plate of nachos on the fucking floor and would be like, we go watch Game of Thrones, because Addie's boyfriend does love Game of Thrones.
He and I do.
They do love Game of Thrones. Okay, they do. They do love it. He would be like, but if that was her attempt at seduction, he would be like, just stay right there. Just give me a minute. Like, no matter where they were, okay, even if they were in Antarctica, he would be like, do not move, okay? He would fly to the next Walmart, buy a package of gold stars, come back, stick one on her fucking forehead, and make her have sex with it on her stupid fucking idiot forehead, just to shame her, and just be like, this is what you get. Don't ever do it again. And that's what would happen, because that's not how you do that.
Male reaction. It was like, oh, you fucking tried, child. You tried. Like,
and then he would like make you watch YouTube videos about like how to do it properly. He would be like, here's how you do it. He would like take you to Rushavi personally and be like, here's how you do it correctly with dolls and shit.
And if your man doesn't do that, then he's James Stark, and he's cuckolded.
Yeah.
Cuckolded.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It was so bad.
Yes, and that's that chapter.
And that is that chapter.
Chapter 14, he runs into other Stark, and Stark is just like, and then I wrote down, why is he in love with Aphrodite? That's literally that chapter.
Yeah.
He's like, what happened to your unit? And other Kevin's like, I have no idea. They sent me out on a mission, and I got lost, and then I came back, and they're just gone. Another Stark is like, fucking red vampires, I hate you. And that's it. And he's in love with Aphrodite. That's that chapter.
Yep. And then the next one is big group meeting, and Aphrodite tells a vision of hay bales and shit.
Yes. And
Kevin gets a boner.
And Kevin gets a boner.
Kevin does get a boner.
Big one.
Yeah.
Chapter 16, I said, I don't know what's happening.
Then we go to Kevin. He writes a letter saying, bad guys coming run.
Yes. Yeah.
I
he
just
sent the
said my
message
note
to
for
Dragon.
chapter 16 is I don't know what happened, but I wasn't paying attention, but I heard teaching and puke.
Yeah, Zoe does teach, and then she throws up because Kevin uses old magic again. That's it. That's chapter 16. In case you can't tell, nothing happens this book. Chapter 17 is this. Chapter 17 is Stark, our Stark, going to Stevie Ray and being like, listen, I think Zoe's going to go back to the other world to fuck Heath. And Stevie Ray's like, oh shit, you're right. And that's that chapter.
Yeah,
or that's half that chapter.
And one thing as well, one thing I pointed out as well, like, up until the meeting, right, we were on the same day Kevin left.
Yes.
We're now on the day after he left.
Yeah,
And
they're acting like a week has passed.
Right, Zoe's been going to Heath's grave every day since Kevin left. It's like it's been a day.
Yeah.
This is the first time she's gone.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Stark, it's the first time she's gone.
I mean, that's a Cass problem. That's not a Stark problem. And that does come from me defending Stark till the day I die. But it's still stupid. I completely agree. And we pan to Zoe, and this is the fishing rant that we went on earlier. And real Kevin shows up, and I just wrote down, fuck Heath, fuck all of this. I'm just fucking done.
Yeah. So yeah,
Zoe likes other Kevin so much better than she likes
real Kevin.
But her excuse is because I can't relate to him because we're not the same. Whereas this whole book is supposed to be, but we're all the same.
This is another case where you have the setup for something interesting, the conflict of like.
But we only see this Kevin once.
Right.
I thought we'd see him more than once.
But you know what? But you know what? This could actually be interesting. I like my other brother better than I like my real brother. You know what? And that could actually be set up for like the conflict of wow, I feel super guilty because I like the other version of my brother better, and I feel super guilty about that, and I feel like that's fucked up. That could be fucking interesting. That could be really fucking interesting and a really fucking human moment for Zoe. But you know what? It's fucking not.
Well, and to feed back into Mara's whole it's the same day thing, she's already told Kevin at this point everything that's happened with other Kevin.
When?
Bitch, when? Bitch, why would he understand? Why would you tell him that? He would not have the capability to understand. He's a normal human being that is in high school. He would not fucking understand. There's another world that, blah, 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 blah. Because he's like, oh, you're going to go back to Heath, aren't you? And she's like, yeah, it's going to break Stark's heart.
But then also this Kevin's like, you understand that Heath's dead, right? And then she's like, how dare
I love Kevin.
And then she's like, how dare you? And I'm like, I stand Kevin because Kevin's like, you know, Heath's dead, right? And I'm like, I stand.
We have our emotional support animal.
Thank God. But I stand that Kevin was at least like, you know, he's dead, right? And I was like, thank God someone said it.
And now the next chapter is Stark, other Stark, other Dallas, other Kevin, and other Aphrodite are in a truck going to the hay bales.
Yeah, that's it.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
And then also, real quick, in chapter 20, all the high priestesses, do you even know I'm not any mad? My note is, I'm not even mad anymore. I'm apathetic. Because she's like, our high priestesses, Lenobia, Cremetia, are these people, are that people. And it's like, those people aren't high priestesses. They're not high priestesses. They're prophetessi. I'm done.
Yeah. And also kind of I can't remember the exact lines, but there's a few lines in this book as well. Like, when they talk about how Neferet's killed all the other high priestesses in the other world, right?
Yeah.
And about how she's keeping an eye on all of the priestesses to see if any of them is showing the signs of transitioning into a high priestess. Like, no, high priestess requires training. And what is this? Is every female adult vampire automatically a priestess now? Because that's what it sounded like.
And also, we ignoring every House of Night that's not a Tulsa House of Night? Because every House of Night would have a high priestess.
Or
So
some
what is-
sort of
What is
over-
Nefer going to every house of night and assassin? Because I'd like to read that fucking book.
Yeah. Well, hey, maybe it's next book since
Well,
we're with Nefer
I
at
think
80% of the time.
I think they're just talking about in Neferet's area that she's conquered. There are no other high
Which is,
priestesses.
yeah, it's the Midwest. So she handles, we talked about this last time, but just a revamp. She controls the Midwest, East and West Coast for the Resistance.
Yeah.
That's it.
Got the middle.
Yeah, she got the middle America.
America.
Fuck yeah. And then we have just more recap, and I wrote down at this
that's their
point.
political allegory. Middle America is evil. Sorry.
Yeah,
Is
right.
that their subtle thing?
And
also, did you guys notice in this book as well just the constant use of the term lovers? Like
yes, I did.
like
Lovers was used
showed up in all
constantly.
of their lovers, and everything was just their lovers, and I'm just like, they're mates, they're warriors and mates.
Mara, we don't have the answers to these questions.
I know. They just like to overuse words. I mean, like nothing. I don't think anything will be as bad as the supplicant thing. I don't think it will.
We still have forgotten, which is going to be garbage.
And the
Anyways,
last book.
we have to keep continuing.
We gotta keep going.
So there's more just of Kevin and Aphrodite in chapter 20, and then chapter 21 is the fight with Stark. And I was so fucking happy because Stark was like, I don't give a fuck. You know what? Go. I don't give a shit anymore. You're just a fucking whore. Go back to your fucking boyfriend. I'm not going to be a third wheel. Fuck you. I hope I feel nothing.
And I was like, I stand. I
Because
stand this Stark. This Stark has
That's the Stark I'm
balls.
talking
He
about
is
with the fucking
good.
nuts.
I was like, this Stark is good. He's a good person. I love him. And they ruined it later.
They
So it
did.
doesn't matter.
And I think this also just like I understand why Zoe's saying he can't go because he's too
I do.
recognizable or whatever.
I do.
I get that, but then when he's like, "You texted me as well," like with the because you texted everyone to say, "Come
yeah,
meet
it's
me."
a big group chat.
And he's just like, "So were you even going to tell me?" And she's like, "Of course. What do you think the group meeting was for?" It's like, "So you're going to tell me with everyone else?"
Yeah, like
And then
that's
she's
your,
like, but
that's
don't
your-
you understand that I love you? And then he's like, no, I don't, because you were going to tell me the same way that you were going to tell all your fucking
He's
friends.
supposed to be
Here's
like
the
her
thing.
husband, her life
Here's
partner.
the thing. Here's the
This is the
fucking
decision
thing.
you make together.
If I have to tell people something important, I don't care what it is. If I have to tell people something important, even
not
if
gonna-
it's like my husband,
I'm not going to go in a big group and just be like, "Hi, everyone. Here's my decision." Like, because everyone deserves.
everybody deserves this thing because even if it's like an important thing for me, even the two of you,
Would
for
react
me personally, deserve like even the two of you. I'm not going to tell the two of you together because you both deserve individual consideration because the two of you are my best friends.
Especially because she just expects Stevie Ray and her fam to just go with her with no question and just says it in front of her whole circle and all of their boyfriends.
And I know that like, you know, for Bae, like, you know, and you know, it's like me and Ames, and I know that you would give me and her like different because we're different people.
Oh, also, like, just say you got leukemia tomorrow and you had 2 months to live, and I was, fingers crossed. But if I was going to go and visit you, right, I wouldn't like gather my family and Stixie and be like, I'm going to the US for 2 months. I will talk to Stixie first.
Yes. You consult the person who's most ingrained in your life, which would be Stark for Zoe. And you'd be like, all right, dude, so I'm going. Here's why.
I
you
feel
can't
this is
go.
important for you, and et cetera, et cetera. And here is concerns. Take those into account and then explain, like, you know,
and
like if I had, like the same thing for like Bae. If like Bae was telling me the same thing, I would tell like, you know, Francis and Tom separately than I would tell Addie, like, because they're very important people in my life. And, you know, like they're all very important people.
Exactly.
and I would tell my parents separately, then I would tell, like
Right.
I would tell them all separately because they all are important to me. Because they're all my friends. I wouldn't just be like, here's a group text, come meet me.
And like Addie said as well, she should have consulted with Stevie Ray and Refrain. Was it you that said it?
Yeah.
She should have consulted with them first before she said to everyone, just in case. Because what if they didn't want to go, but then they're like, we can't really say no in front of everyone.
In front of 10 other people. Well, and also when she's talking to Stark, she's like, well, I'm not just going for Heath. And it's like, yeah, that's the way to reassure your essential life partner and husband of the fact that, I'm not going to see my ex.
And he's just like, you're not just going for Heath, so you are going for Heath.
And that was when I was like, I fucking stand. Because I was like, you're not just going for Heath. Okay. I was like, yeah, exactly. You're not just going for Heath.
That was the root of the thing, is she made the decision to go when she was talking to Heath in his grave. Because she is going back to see Heath. And they just make a snap judgment when she's actually there with Heath. And she's like, no, you know what? I don't want to talk to Heath. I don't want to do that. Because she sees that he's with another girl and she's jealous of it. They show her being jealous of Heath being with someone that's not her. And I'm fucking mad.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
But before she tells the group, though, because then Stark's like, fuck yeah, I'm out, and he storms off. Yeah. Then she goes to a group meeting with everyone else, and they have to restore the old, like the tree where everything bad happens.
We're Kelowna.
The tree. Yeah.
We spend 3 chapters on it.
And they all get to
Kelowna
sing
dance.
My favorite things. They sing that. And
I wrote down, I was like, why are we playing music? What is happening?
Yeah, no, I think my note here is, hold on, real quick. I was like, I'm gonna fucking, oh no, wait. Where is it? I don't know where it is. It was like, if they touch another musical, I'm gonna fucking shoot. I will go buy a gun and fucking shoot myself. That was my thing. Because
because they have to pick a happy song to sing while they dance in a circle.
Why? When did they ever have to fucking do that?
I don't know. But then Jack's like, I've got a great idea. And Damien's like, what?
Jack has no good ideas. He's a toddler.
He starts singing my favorite things from Sound of Music. And then he sings a line and Stevie Ray jumps in. And then Aphrodite jumps in. And I'm like, Aphrodite would toss her hair and go, this is bullshit, and storm off.
And in that moment, we were all Aphrodite.
I have a fucking hiccup. This is bad. God damn it.
I will say that at least everyone looked at Aphrodite like, you're okay, why are you joining in? Who is the police coming for?
Are you talking about the people out my window? They're coming for me. Okay. They're gonna lock me up in a fucking insane asylum. Because I'm insane at this point in this book. Anyways.
Yes. So they heal the tree and then call the sprite back, and they're like, take it to the other world, yo, here's our blood. And she's like, excellent, okay.
And she's gonna use Aphrodite's blood to get them back. And then Stark is like, I love you. And I'm like, please get your penis back. You have a vagina. Please go away.
Yeah, like, as they're getting sucked away into the other world, Stark, like, slow-mo runs towards her. He's like, I'll be waiting for you. I love you, Zoe Redbird.
Yeah, and I'm like, please.
And that's when we all unstand. God damn it, I have the hiccups. That's when we all unstand the other scene.
Tell your diaphragm to stop spazzing. Anyways, we gotta keep soldiering on. It's so other Kevin runs into Shawnee and Aaron, and he's now Aphrodite's personal guard. I said, I don't know, I'm not paying attention anymore. She's not into you in our world, you fuckwit. And then Zoe's here. Woo!
Yep. So then they go and meet, and before Kevin and Aphrodite get to where the resistance is, Zoe's already gone to Grandma. Grandma's taken them back to the cave. And in the span of a day, they've set up they've turned the stream into a cooler. They've ultimately what they did with the tunnels, where it went from being nothing to fully functioning in no time. Except at least in the tunnels, there was a 3-day gap in Aphrodite's unlimited
gold card.
credit card. So at least it was that. Whereas this, they've set up showers, they've set up this, and Anastasia's like, by the way, the showers are always cold.
in what? 3 hours?
Yeah, approximately.
They've had about, because Kevin slept. Okay, so we've gone from the
13
early
hours.
morning. Yeah, so we've had about 13 hours by this time.
Maybe. Assuming they sleep for 12.
And they didn't even have a gold guard.
No, they just had old sprites. No, it's Oak, come to me. Do all of my shit for me.
Yeah, and have you noticed as well that Zoe, because one of the reasons that Zoe was also going to go there was to say, Kevin, no more old magic. It's bad, okay? Does she ever actually say it to him?
No, but one thing that she did, sorry, this is a thing I have to point out, is that she was like, this is so stupid. She was like, hold on, where is this? This is in chapter 22. She was like, he can't use old magic. We have to go stop it. And so she uses old magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was the rationale to Stark for going, not just Heath.
That said, it's the first time she's used it in 10 months, whereas he's used it 5 times in 2 days.
Okay, but in order to get the red vampires to open the portal in the first place, they didn't even have to use it. They were just using an old-fashioned circle, and they were just thinking bad thoughts. I hope there's a zombie apocalypse. They were all like, I wish that Aphrodite's mom would just be eaten by zombies. And then she
all they have to do. I could have just redone the same spell, and everyone in panel was like, I wish there was a portal that would take us the other way and then let us come up.
Anyways, so fuck the fucking cookies. We have a recap of the whole series, essentially, and then they go to the cave, and they're like, oh my god, dragon! And we talked about this already, where I'm like, you do remember the dragon was an asshole to you for a while.
Yeah, and one smart thing that happened in this book, one smart thing. They were like, Refame, maybe it's best that we don't tell Anastasia and Dragon that you killed her and then he killed to save you, even though he hated you.
Yeah.
He died.
And this is also when the Refame thing happens, where Refame meets Anastasia and he's like, I pledge myself to help you and all this stuff like that. And we've talked about how this could be a very interesting arc. And then it's bird time. And then Anastasia goes, I'm not judging you, but did your mate strip every sunrise? Why? And I stand that line. I stand it hard because he starts taking off his shirt and he's like, oh, fuck, I gotta go.
And then he doesn't turn into a bird. So
and then
chapter
25 is we meet all the other versions of our people and then they have sex and then they go to bed. It's Stevie Ray's perspective.
Stevie Ray and Refame.
That sex scene will scar me for life.
Weird. Just because sex doesn't really have a place in this book. You know what I mean?
And that sex scene was so descriptive. Out of nowhere. The other thing is, we haven't heard from Stevie Ray since Hunted.
Also, it's always in books, they always mention about how they call out each other's names. I don't think I've ever called out Stixie's name in sex.
Yeah, same.
We've had some really, really good sex, mind-blowingly good. But it's just never in my life have I had the urge
to call out a name. Right? That's the thing in TV and books and film is you call out people's names and it's that doesn't. I've never personally.
It's another thing in books and TV shows as well. Books a bit less so, I guess, because you're reading the name. So I'm assuming it's to trigger people's memories, but also just when your main character meets someone and they're just like, "Hi, I'm Zoe Redbird." It's why? No one says their last name when they're introducing themselves. Is this an American thing?
No.
No, whenever I introduce myself.
Hi, I'm Teresa J. Martin.
Just hi. Here's my first name.
And then they hear and they hear, like, they're like, oh, I saw Joe Blogs down at the
I really
store
hope the next person I have sex with just yells out, Teresa J. Martin!
Combine the two problems. And then
full name.
Just full names it.
They go to the
way.
Resistance.
No, just like chance it and like music and everything.
Yeah, so Aphrodite's also had another vision by this stage as well that Nefert's gonna
do something at the football game.
Do something at the big football game between,
which of course Heath is playing in.
Yeah, between what, OU and OSU or something. Whatever. I'm guessing.
But they talk about TU constantly throughout it, so I don't know because they talk about 3 different universities.
Yeah, TU owns the stadium.
Yeah. Okay.
TU owns the stadium, and OU.
So it's Oklahoma University and Oklahoma State. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're having their football game at Tulsa University.
And yeah, chapter 27 is just Kevin bringing other Aphrodite in there, and then they're talking about that vision.
Also, in chapter 26, Aphrodite calls Kevin Snow.
I didn't notice that. That's funny.
Yeah,
that happened. She's like, you know nothing, Kevin Snow. And I was like,
Aphrodite in no universe would watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
in no universe. Like, for her, she'd be like, this is boring. And then she'd run away. That's what she would do. So the fact that she made Jon Snow reference, which in an amazing, iconic scene from Game of Thrones, no.
Yeah, the most Aphrodite would know is, like, Daenerys has some pretty cool hairdos.
Yeah. Yeah, she would talk about their fashion.
Yeah.
The fashion evolution of Daenerys Targaryen. That's what she would know.
Which is pretty impressive, by the way.
It very is. It very much is impressive. And then
at some stage while they're in the cave as well, I think this is the next night because they're there for a couple of days before the game and then they leave before the game. Aphrodite walks in and she's like, by the way, that bird boy dude, he's a screamer and the bumpkin is yelling yeehaw, and that's something I never needed to know. And I'm like, that's something I never needed to know.
That's chapter 29. We're almost there. Chapter 28 first is a recap, and then Zoe's like, oh well, you know, other Aphrodite, like our Aphrodite, almost drank and drug herself to death. And I was like, no, she fucking didn't. Like, they're just talking about like both Aphrodite's past essentially, and Dragon and Anna.
They're trying to give this Aphrodite the seeds to become like their Aphrodite.
Yeah. So Dragon and Anastasia are gonna be fire and air respectively, and then Zoe's like, I'm gonna miss this Aphrodite, and I'm like, they're the same fucking person.
Yeah, she's
like
just
they
not
act
unworking
the exact same. They have the same personalities. You're not gonna miss this one. You have her at home. Like, fuck off. And then 29 is Kevin.
One more information that we needed to know about the sounds that people make during sex. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah, that's that. And then he's like, I love you. I love Aphrodite. Wait, no, it's not. That's not here yet. Oh, shit.
He gets other Nala bonds to Kevin.
Yeah. So she realizes she's only in love with Stark at this point. I'm like, yeah, sure, seems fake, but okay. And I said, fuck off with all this shit. And then, so no, it's about to happen, is Kevin and Aphrodite. Other Stark doesn't agree with Nefert's plans. Nefert's all like, this sounds like your problem with the red vampires. Go fuck off. And then other Kevin is watching Nala for some fucking reason. And Aphrodite, they joke about the bird sex life. Yep, there it is. Yeehaw.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Aphrodite asks about who she's with in our world, and we have to talk about Darius, and this fucking pisses me off to the end of the earth because she's like, maybe you're my Darius, and then they kiss and have sex.
Yeah, and they fit together perfectly.
I'll get pissed off when we get to the part. Then they fuck this, and then we're at the football game and the red vampires are like on the field. We're going with the plan again. And then my heart did melt a little bit when she saw other Stark for the first time. And she's like, oh my God, like that's Stark. Like, Jesus Christ. That's him. And my heart did like,
Sorry, yeah, keep going. Sorry, I also just got so over the boomer sooner. Over and over and over again. How many times did we have to hear boomer sooner?
Yeah, I don't even know where that came from.
Like, what does that even mean?
I don't know. Like, they kept saying it, and then we have
I'm guessing that's like a battle cry for OU.
Possibly. I'll do a Google.
Oh, wait. The ref had just called holding against OU, so of course all of the Sooners were around me standing.
Is a fight song for Oklahoma University of Oklahoma. So good job. They did something correct. But then she sees Heath and she's like, oh my God. And then Heath in this universe is dating a black girl.
Yep, a black cheerleader. And who was it, Shawnee? Zoe was like, after Zoe was like, then she was like, I guess Shawnee would be pleased that he's feeling the black magic. I was just like, do we have to come back to black magic?
Yeah, I was like, do we really have to make this back to that? And she is like, they describe her body language and she's genuinely jealous of Heath and this other girl. And I'm like, your Heath has died twice.
Yeah.
At this point, he's died twice. Let him fucking go. This is just ridiculous. She's never actually cared about him. We talked about it at the beginning of the stream.
Yeah.
We shall continue.
And now it's halftime. And at halftime, the score's like, Heath's team is like at 30-something.
It's even.
And the other one's at 3. So like, and never, it's like, it's like 30, it's like 38-3 or something.
Yeah.
And then it's like, let's make this more interesting because I am bored. There is not enough competition happening.
She also doesn't know what halftime is, and they've established that she's a giant football fan, which why?
Yeah, 1. But she calls it intermission.
2. And Aphrodite's like, it's halftime. And then Aphrodite's like, marching band's actually really lit. And Nefret's like, fuck that. We're not fucking with that. Let's make this interesting, folks.
Yep. So she takes over the mic and the camera. She's like, "Hello, gentle people of Oklahoma. Just so you know, one team, the winners, will be leaving with a trophy, and the other team and their cheerleaders and their marching band and coaches, etc., will be eaten.
Yep.
Play well." Like, effectively, I was just waiting for and made the odds be ever in your favor at the end of that. And the two teams just like kind of looked at each other and like the crowd's freaking out.
Yeah, everyone's trying to leave and protesting, so it's time to call the circle.
Yeah. And then Heath Heath becomes
Kaepernick.
Heath becomes the love child of the black Olympians back in the day.
They all do.
And Colin Kaepernick, and he takes a knee with the raised fist, and then everyone follows suit, and everyone just stands there, and then Nefret's just like, if you do not play, everyone shall die.
Yeah.
And they're just like, nope, stay strong. And then they're like, okay, time to circle, bitch.
Yeah, time to circle. Got to get to the box. So Air yeets Zoe and Kevin to the box, and this is when she bitch slaps Nefret, and this is the final chapter. We're there, guys. We did it. And it's fucking hilarious. It's just so good.
And they're like, Nefret, you beat Oak. Come to me.
Yeah.
Fix the aberrations. They don't have their humanity. And she's like, oh, they don't.
And she sees Darius.
Yes, and Darius is down there.
And the sacrifice in order for Oak to do it is like Aphrodite's like, I will sacrifice myself.
Yeah. And unfortunately, though, for this Aphrodite, because she had no friendship and had only just begun to feel love, she didn't have enough humanity in her to not dead. So she...
And this is also when she kisses Other Stark, when Zoe kisses Other Stark, but it really doesn't fucking matter because essentially she just convinces Other Stark that Nefret's evil, and he's like, oh yeah, And that's when they had the whole conversation we talked about
Yeah,
prior.
and you know what though? Like, because Stark like notches an arrow at them, and they're like, no, Neferet's turned from Nyx, and blah blah blah, and she's like, how absolutely dare you? And Stark's like, I don't know who to believe. And Zoe's like, well, I'll prove it to you. And what the fuck did she do again?
She calls the old sprites and is like, go look at the red vampires and see what the fuck is up.
And it's just
so
like,
she doesn't really
like Zoe knows how Stark's magic works. It's very figurative.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he thinks of the heart of the tree, he killed the owl. You know, that the owl was bonded to the tree.
Yeah.
All he had, and when he got told to fire the arrow through Zoe's heart because he's like, you have my heart, I have yours. He was going to kill himself.
Yeah, like forever ago. Yeah.
And we've also established Neferet is not immortal yet.
Yes. She was just starting to become such in this world.
Yeah. So all Zoe had to do was say, fire an arrow at the person who is lying.
Yeah.
Arrow would have shot Neferet. They would have proved the point to Stark, and Neferet
in the
would
next
be dead.
book will never happen if that happened.
But it's the logical conclusion.
And but
that didn't happen.
Darius, after all that's over, and Oak gives humanity back to all of the Oak, the sprite, gives humanity back to all the red vampires. They go down to where Aphrodite is, and Darius is with her. And I like this. I think of all the things that pissed me off in this book, this was the worst.
Yeah, because then Kevin runs over, and then so Darius moves to the side because he doesn't know Aphrodite for a bar of soap at this point in time.
But he does, and that's what pisses me off.
Yeah, and then Kevin says that only Zoe's realized that Darius is there, type thing. Like they're like, maybe Darius is dead in this world, who knows, type thing. And then Kevin's like, well, I hope that if your Darius is there, then you'll be reunited with him. And Darius looks over, and then Aphrodite's like, don't you understand, Kevin? You are my Darius. And Darius
is just like, and
he's like, what the fuck?
After she dies, Darius is like, I knew her. Like I feel like I know her. And I'm like, no, your Darius is not Kevin. Your Darius is still Darius. Are you fucking kidding me? And I literally wrote, I was like, fuck all this, fuck it all, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck you all. That's what I wrote down. Because I was so fucking angry. I was like, literally, Darius is right there, and that's the person you're meant to be with, and you're just stupid, and all of you are dumb, and I hate the cast right now.
Yeah. And then Nyx rocks up, and she's like, well done. Now, Zoe, did you want to say goodbye to anyone? Wink, wink. And she's like, nah, that's I. And she's like, good choice, Zoe. Good choice. But Oak, I do believe that this death here should be enough to send them back to where they belong. And she's like, fine, I guess, off you go. And then Stark's waiting there. Well, I don't mind that Stark was actually waiting there in the tent.
Same.
I don't mind that because
he also was very cuckoldy right there. He's like, if you have to go back, that's fine. And I was like, Stark, no. We are past you sharing your fucking wife at this point. All right, we're past this.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, oh, Zoe's back, Stevie Ray's back, Rafane's back, yay! And then book end.
Yeah, that's the end.
Yeah, so
we didn't defeat Neferet.
Yeah, Neferet just yeeted.
Yeah, we didn't defeat Neferet. Neferet just disappeared.
Yeah, she was just like, peace out, motherfuckers, bye.
And I wrote down when Nick showed up, oh, look at you. You finally intervened.
Yeah. So that's the book.
That's the book.
A whole shit ton of nothing.
Yeah, really.
So I guess we'll be back on Thursday.
Yeah, we'll be less than 48 hours. 47 hours right now?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll be done.
Yeah, we will see you guys then.
And we are done for a whole year after that.
Yay!
But yeah, we will see you guys then. And that is that.
Is that.
So, bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.